Hey guys, it's Sophie Cunningham here. I'm finally in Indiana and I am so excited to be here and meet all of you. See you guys at the game. Bye.
Those aren't the words of someone who doesn't want to play for the Indiana Fever. No, those are the words of Sophie Cunningham, the WNBA enforcer, who just landed in Indiana and is ready to shake things up for Caitlyn Clark and the squad.
Finally here!
All right.
While Cheryl Swoops said nobody wants to play in Indiana, Sophie Cunningham was lighting up the internet with excitement about joining the Fever. In this video, we'll break down Sophie's thoughts on Caitlyn Clark, her first day with the team, and how she's shutting down the haters.
Oh gosh, this is the first time I've seen my jersey. Oh, I love this. It's like I'm a rookie all over again.
What if I told you that while Cheryl Swoops was running her mouth about nobody wanting to play for Indiana, Sophie Cunningham was poolside in Phoenix when she got the trade call? And her reaction? Not disappointment, not hesitation, just pure excitement.
Where were you when you found out about this, and what was kind of that general reaction to a fresh start here?
Yeah, you guys will learn that if I'm not in the gym, I'm normally by the pool. And so I was actually poolside when I found out. And, there's a lot of emotions just because I have been out there for so long. But to be honest, my original thought was like, oh, heck yeah. Like, we're about to go win a championship. Like, that's exactly where my mind went. And like I said, it's all about the people. It's about the culture. I learned a lot out there, but now I'm ready to move on to something bigger, something better, and have a lot of really great players around me to, seriously go win a championship.
That's right. The idea that top players don't want to join the Fever just got completely shattered. While the haters were busy cooking up their next criticism, Sophie was already gearing up for a championship run in Indiana. Talk about shutting down all that negativity.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm so excited. I think it's refreshing. I've been in Phoenix for the past 6 years, was drafted out there. I've had a really great time. I've been very blessed with being around a lot of GOATs in the game and learning the game on another level. But again, this is just a new style. And this is the style that I thrive in. When you have people who can shoot the ball, who move the ball, who are running gunners, and share the ball, this is the type of offense that I want to be in.
When Sophie finally stepped into Gainbridge Fieldhouse, her excitement was absolutely contagious. The Fever's social media captured her pure joy as she took in her new basketball home. In one video that quickly went viral, Sophie introduced herself with all-out enthusiasm.
Yeah, I'm just stoked. And like I said, the offense is more my style, but I'm also surrounded by a great culture and great people, and that's what I'm also very excited about, to be here in Indiana.
But there's something even deeper about this move for Sophie. As a Missouri native, returning to the Midwest feels like coming home. I love it, she said during her intro to the Indiana media. My roots are here in the Midwest, and just being closer to home. This wasn't just a trade, it was a return to her heartland.
How impactful will it be for you and your family to be back here in the Midwest, something that Caitlyn had as well, and within driving distance for everyone, right?
I love it. My roots are here in the Midwest, and just to be closer to home. My sister is married and has a kid, has another one on the way, and family is everything to me. I have a really great support system, and you better believe I've already had over 100, 200 people reach out. Hey, how do we get season tickets? I was like, I have no idea. I just got traded 2 hours ago. So I think we're going to have a pretty cool fan base up here from Missouri. But again, it's my Midwest roots. I'm excited to be around Midwesterners again. It's my type of people, and so I'm happy to be here.
What makes Sophie's arrival even more impactful is how it's already shaping team chemistry. In a league where some stars bring egos bigger than their talent, Sophie wasted no time stressing the importance of a selfless culture.
I'm just excited, but to be honest, I think when you have a group that can let go of the egos and you're really just here to win and work hard, I think that's the best type of group, and you're all willing to do the dirty work, and I think that's what I'm most excited about. That's my bread and butter right there, is outwork your opponents and have fun doing it.
Fans flooded social media with excitement, showing overwhelming support for seeing her in action. The connection was immediate. No adjustment period needed. Sophie didn't just join the team, she fully embraced it from day one.
Now that I've been here, and I have been paying a lot more attention to it, and it's crazy, right? Like it's a whirlwind, and there's an adjustment period not only for her but for her teammates around her, for Indiana as a whole. But I think it's all really good things, and so it takes a little bit to get adjusted to it. But after that, I mean, come on, it's part of something great that doesn't come around very often, and so if you're not paying attention, I don't know what you're doing.
This is exactly the type of addition the Fever needed. Someone who truly wants to be there, believes in the vision, and brings both skill and energy to the locker room. While critics like Swoops cling to outdated narratives, players like Sophie are backing it up with their actions, proving that Indiana has become a destination franchise in the WNBA.
I know you said earlier this month that you'd do the Sabrina Carpenter to Caitlyn's Taylor Swift.
That was a joke, but I guess people really took that seriously.
People love it. What excites you about playing with her this year?
I mean, she has changed our game in the best possible way in every way. And so just to be alongside of her and maybe relieve the pressure, being able to shoot and spread the court for her to go do her thing.
Remember all those times last season when opponents treated Caitlyn Clark like a punching bag? The cheap shots, the hard screens, the unnecessary contact after whistles? Well, the Fever just added the one thing Clark desperately needed but didn't have. A true enforcer ready to make opponents think twice.
She's still young, and I think that I've been taken under, Diana took me under her wing, and I've learned a lot from her, and now I hope to kind of do the same for Caitlyn if she wants it. I just think the relationship piece is huge, and when you're trying to do something great, it takes everybody, and so I want her to go do her thing, and anything she needs from me, I'm going to be here. But again, I think that just the competitor that I am, I'm fierce, I'm sassy. I stick up for my teammates, stick up for myself, and so sometimes I think that's okay to be feisty and to be yourself.
Sophie Cunningham isn't just bringing her game to Indiana, she's bringing her reputation as one of the WNBA's fiercest competitors, the kind of player that makes opponents think twice before crossing her. In her introductory press conference, Sophie made it clear, "I'm fierce, I'm sassy, I stick up for my teammates, I stick up for myself." And those 5 words about sticking up for her teammates? They might be the most important thing Caitlyn Clark's heard all offseason.
I'm excited to play in front of the fans. I think that she's drawn a lot of people, not only to Indiana, but to the women's game as a whole. And so just to be a part of something great, just really happy to be here.
Let's be real. Last season was tough for the rookie superstar. We all saw Caitlyn Clark get knocked around, bumped, and targeted game after game with little to no repercussions. The physicality kept ramping up, and it felt like her teammates were either too slow or unwilling to step in and send a message. It was like watching a boxing match where only one fighter had someone in their corner.
Caitlyn Clark was getting hit a lot. She was getting hit a lot early, and they needed their Charles Oakley. You've got that in Sophie Cunningham.
This is where Sophie Cunningham steps up. Throughout her career in Phoenix, Sophie became known as the ultimate teammate protector. When opponents targeted Mercury stars, they knew they'd have to answer to her. Now, she's made it clear that same protection is coming to Caitlyn Clark and the rest of the Fever roster.
There are so many videos of Sophie Cunningham just starting brawls.
Sophie isn't just about getting physical, she's all in when it comes to doing the dirty work. Whether finishing through contact or creating space, she thrives in those moments. This toughness fills a major gap the Fever had last season, especially when the game got physical.
If she hits a 3, Maisha Hines-Allen fouls her and then tries to step over, and then Sophie Cunningham grabs her leg. Nobody's going near Maisha Hines-Allen, but no, Sophie Cunningham will start the fight. The refs are trying to break it up. None of the Mercury players are going to go near Maisha Hines-Allen. They're scared. She's scared of bejesus out of them. Maisha Hines-Allen's one of the toughest players in this league. Sophie Cunningham going head to head straight with her.
When you're trying to do something great, it takes everybody. I want her to do her thing. Anything she needs from me, I'm going to be here, Sophie declared, setting the tone for what her role in Indiana will be. With those words, she made it crystal clear that protecting Caitlyn Clark isn't just an afterthought. It's a core part of her mission. Sophie's ability to take on the physical grind, absorb the hits, and finish plays through defenders will be the shield Clark desperately needs. No longer will Clark have to worry about the constant hits. With Sophie in the mix, she'll be free to shine without looking over her shoulder. The enforcer has arrived, and she's got Clark's back every step of the way.
Caitlyn Clark says, how do you say bang in Portuguese? It don't matter! Bang! Bang! For a preseason game, they flew up from Brazil, lost by 64, and got to make TikToks with Caitlyn Clark after the game. Where do I sign up? Bang! Not sure why they played the game in Iowa, because Caitlyn Clark, she was still shooting the shot from South America, baby! Bang!
Caitlyn Clark found herself utterly stunned, and this time, it wasn't because she sank a shot from the logo or broke yet another record. Not at all. It was something far more unexpected. The whole Brazilian national team, along with their coach, offered such astonishing praise that even the most composed star in basketball was left at a loss for words.
The team were lining up to get autographs. She signed their jerseys. They were getting them to sign. They were getting her to sign their jerseys. She was signing the players' jerseys. This is like Dream Team. This is literally like Dream Team stuff. We haven't seen this since the damn Dream Team. She is literally signing the jerseys of teams she played against. She is signing their jerseys. They're that much in awe of her.
This wasn't your typical "she's amazing" cliche. It was a show-stopping moment from a seasoned basketball veteran, and Caitlyn was left blinking like, did that really just happen? Picture being praised so openly and unexpectedly that it feels like a defining moment in your career. That's the magnitude we're talking about. And guess who faced the very same squad just days earlier and didn't receive that kind of admiration? Angel Reese. And she's not happy about it. Drop a comment with where you're tuning in from so we can see just how far the CC fan base stretches across the US and around the globe. Let's get it.
How are you? Good, how are you?
Are you an amazing player? Congratulations.
Thanks.
You're changing the history in basketball.
I appreciate it. Thanks for coming here.
Let's take a moment to truly soak this in. Brazil, the land of samba, soccer legends, and mouthwatering steaks, has now made room in its cultural heart for Caitlyn Clark admiration. Who saw that coming? In a simple preseason exhibition, not a championship or high-stakes clash, Caitlyn commanded so much attention, she might as well have shifted the sport's center of gravity. Brazil's head coach, a veteran, likely coaching since before many fans were born, watched her play and reacted like he'd just witnessed the female version of Michael Jordan. This wasn't just praise, it was pure reverence.
The team she played against last night, and I understand a lot of this team was young, but the team she played against last night, getting pictures with Caitlyn Clark at the end of the game, having her literally sign their jerseys, and those jerseys, you better believe the coach of the rival team being in shock. Like, this is the dream team. This is the dream team. This is the opponents getting pictures with the dream team.
And it didn't end there. The coach didn't just hand out compliments and move on. He nearly sanctified her then and there. This wasn't the recycled flattery from a faded commentator stuck in the glory days of the 90s. This was authentic, elite-level admiration. He spoke of her like she was a legend come to life, as if she'd descended from Mount Olympus, grabbed a basketball, and chosen the WNBA as her side hustle. And coming from a man whose nation treats soccer as sacred, that level of respect is nothing short of golden.
Brazil, their coaching, had no answer whatsoever for Caitlyn Clark. And they threw so many different looks at her. Like, I've never seen a team throw so many different looks at a player.
But hold on, it gets even better. After the game, Caitlyn didn't just exit like a typical star. She stuck around to autograph Brazil's national team jersey because they asked her to. Let that sink in. Caitlyn Clark, basketball's brightest star, signed their jersey like it was just part of her routine. But that wasn't just ink on fabric. That was a generational stamp. That was the Mona Lisa putting her name on the Sistine Chapel.
There you go. Best of luck, guys.
Don't fire with that shot.
I know, I'm crazy.
After you done, can we do a 6 round?
And here's the kicker. Caitlyn didn't do it with a shred of ego. There was no smug grin, no dramatic pause to fix her shades. She signed that jersey with poise, warmth, and the kind of effortless humility that makes you question if she's a real human or the blueprint for the ideal athlete. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is out here blocking fans and tweeting that she doesn't have time for the small stuff, while Caitlyn's casually out here brokering international goodwill with a pen stroke.
We know that we can be the best front court in this league, so just trying to do the best as we can. I think in this offseason, we got the shooters that we needed, and as you can see tonight, we have some great shooters out there, which just spaces out for both of us. So I think we're in a great direction.
Just hours before tip-off, Brazil's players were out there channeling their inner Caitlyn, launching deep threes and warm-ups like they were trying out for a highlight reel spoof. But after the final buzzer, those very same players transformed into starstruck fans, lining up like they were at a pop concert. Phones in hand, faces lit up, pleading for selfies and autographs like she was Beyoncé. Only this queen had a basketball in her hand.
Across the footage of the Brazilian national team dancing on Caitlyn Clark logo at Carva Arena. Man, a lot of people had mixed reviews about it. Well, it looked like that wasn't the only clip because the entire team got in on the action, bruh. Got in on the jumping on Caitlyn Clark logo, stomping on it. Damn.
Caitlyn walked onto the court and did exactly what everyone was secretly hoping for. Drained a deep three with such effortless precision, it left the crowd audibly stunned. She wasn't putting on a show for the spotlight, she was simply doing what she always does, shattering expectations like it was routine. The Brazilian team, still trying to catch their breath after witnessing pure excellence, suddenly realized they hadn't just been outplayed, they'd become part of the moment. Not the kind you brag about, but the kind that gets replayed in every sports montage for the next 10 years.
They were there. They were knocking her on her ass a couple of times. They were being physical. They were denying her. They didn't try to stop during the game. They just did not have it. They're so excited. They're taking pictures with her after the game. They're taking pictures. They're taking pictures with her like.
That's the distinction. Caitlyn doesn't just show up to play, she takes full command. While others are busy fueling Twitter drama or chasing brand deals that fade quicker than a missed Reese jumper, Caitlyn is busy reshaping the trajectory of the WNBA. Brazil didn't just tip their hat to her, they were completely awestruck. And honestly, who could fault them for it?
Excuse me, pardon me, just trying to get through real quick. Sorry about that. Bang! Excuse me, ma'am, hold on. I think you dropped something. Oh, it's a dime. Floater, look at that. Big it, bang, boom, 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 bang. And her misses are majestic and set up her teammates for success. Look at this soft bounce off the rim, put back by her teammate. Bang! Just stand in the corner, clap your heels together 3 times and cut to the basket. Caitlyn Clark will find you every single time.
You know who didn't get that kind of reception from Brazil? Angel Reese. No crowds begging for selfies, no glowing remarks from the coach, no jerseys treated like priceless memorabilia, just some missed layups and empty energy. It's almost as if respect isn't something you declare on Twitter, it's something you earn on the court. Let's be honest. When was the last time a foreign coach raved about Reese's performance? When has a national team queued up for her autograph like kids waiting to meet Mickey Mouse? In a single night, Brazil gave Caitlyn Clark more admiration than Reese has managed to squeeze out of years of self-marketing. And that's the core issue. Reese keeps insisting she is the moment, while Caitlyn keeps making them.
Angel Reese is now quoted as saying, "I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person." She refuses to say Caitlyn Clark's name. It's because of me too, and I want you to realize that.
And while Reese's camp is probably furiously refreshing their mentions, Caitlyn's just taking boos after casually reminding the world why she's the face of the league. She didn't ask for the spotlight, she took it. And now the whole world, from Iowa to Sao Paulo, knows the truth. Caitlyn Clark isn't just great, she's global. Brazil didn't just see a player, they saw a movement, and, like the rest of us, they wanted in. Because when Caitlyn Clark steps on a court, she doesn't just change the game, she changes the atmosphere. And if Angel Reese wants to know what that feels like, well, she'll have to do a lot more than practice posing for the cameras. There's a reason the Brazilian team didn't pose for pictures with Angel Reese. There's a reason they weren't reposting highlights of her jump shots. Because when Caitlyn Clark's in the gym, the energy shifts, the air changes. People know they're watching something special, something rare. Reese might talk like she's the future of women's basketball, but Caitlyn is out here getting standing ovations in multiple languages.
Or as alive, but there has been a confirmation. There has been, well, as good as a confirmation from the draft. And it's unfortunate they leaked the expansion draft, or at least leaked part of the expansion draft.
As the new franchise made its much-anticipated entrance, speculation soared about how the Valkyries would build their inaugural roster. Naturally, Caitlyn Clark became a focal point in these discussions, celebrated for her exceptional scoring prowess, long-range three-point shooting, and strong leadership on the court. Caitlyn has emerged as one of the brightest stars in women's basketball today. The potential addition of her talents to the Valkyries has generated tremendous buzz and anticipation among enthusiasts and analysts alike.
All right, there we go. We have our first 4 names of the reveal, and there they are. And just in case you didn't pick up on it, these names are being announced in alphabetical order from the teams of the W, so there's no ranking here in terms of who's most important. Your first thought?
In case you missed it, these selections are being announced in alphabetical order based on the teams, so there's no ranking in terms of importance. At first glance, you might assume Caitlyn Clark would be among them, but when the draft results were revealed, an unexpected twist occurred. The Valkyries chose not to draft Caitlyn Clark. This surprising decision left both fans and analysts stunned, igniting debates across social media platforms and sports broadcasts. The Golden State Valkyries' participation in the expansion draft marked a pivotal moment for the WNBA. It's a rare opportunity for a new team to build its roster from the ground up, and anticipation was high as fans watched to see their selections. While many anticipated bold moves, the decision to bypass Caitlyn Clark, widely regarded as one of the league's brightest stars, created a wave of controversy and confusion within the basketball community.
As for the names on the back of the jerseys, we do have 4 more names that are about to be revealed in just a moment, but we do want to do a little table set of the Valkyries' notable games during what will be their inaugural season. They'll open the season in the Chase Center against the Sparks in a battle for Cali, some other marquee matchups as well. Defending champ Liberty May 27th, and they've got the Aces and Fever.
Her standout performance at Iowa made her a household name, and her seamless transition to the WNBA only heightened her impact. As a high-volume scorer and talented playmaker, she possesses the unique ability to draw crowds and secure victories. So, why did the Valkyries pass on drafting her when they had the opportunity? The reason stems from a combination of strategic planning, roster-building priorities, and the complexities of managing star talent within a newly established team. She is more than just a prolific scorer. She is a transformative player. Her knack for sinking three-pointers from seemingly unreachable distances and her exceptional court vision make her an invaluable asset. Additionally, she exemplifies leadership both on and off the court, frequently taking control during pivotal moments of the game. Any team would be fortunate to acquire her talents, or so it appears. However, constructing a new franchise goes beyond assembling star players. It involves ensuring the right fit, fostering chemistry, and implementing long-term strategies. This vision necessitated selecting players who could offer versatility and balance to their roster. Opting to draft a superstar like Caitlyn Clark might have seemed like a straightforward way to make headlines, but it could have interfered with the delicate task of forming a unified and cohesive team structure. A prime example of the Valkyries' strategic selection is Temi Fagbenle. As an experienced center, Fagbenle brings defensive strength and leadership qualities that are crucial for any team seeking to establish its identity. However, her selection sparked surprise because it meant that Caitlyn Clark remained with the Indiana Fever. Speculation among fans suggested that Fagbenle's departure from the Fever was closely linked to Clark's increasing influence within the team. Her on-court presence attracts media coverage, drives merchandise sales and energizes fan communities. For the Indiana Fever, she serves as a cornerstone in their rebuilding efforts. Conversely, for the Valkyries, acquiring a player of her caliber might have introduced significant challenges. Effectively managing a star athlete requires substantial resources, both financially and in terms of team dynamics. Clark's playing style necessitates that the team's offense is centered around her. She thrives as a high-usage player who relies on having the ball in her hands. While this strategy can be effective for established teams with well-defined systems, it poses risks for a new franchise striving to find its balance. The Valkyries likely aim to prevent their entire identity from hinging on a single player, regardless of her talent. Instead, their focus was probably on assembling a more balanced roster, capable of evolving into a cohesive unit that can compete comprehensively without depending excessively on any one individual.
From the Atlanta Dream, the Golden State Valkyries select center Ileana Rupert.
Another layer to this decision is the Valkyries' emphasis on defense and versatility. Players like Fag Benley, Alana R., and Monique Billings offer flexibility across multiple positions, enabling the team to adjust to various matchups. While drafting Clark might have been tempting, it could have constrained their ability to build a well-rounded roster. Under the expansion draft rules, teams had the option to protect certain players. Unsurprisingly, the Fever chose to safeguard Caitlyn Clark, effectively removing her from the Valkyries' selection pool. This move came at a price, leaving players like Fag Benley unprotected. For the Fever, this was a strategic gamble. They prioritized securing their star player, understanding that losing other valuable role players might be an unavoidable consequence. Protecting Clark underscores her significance to the Fever's future. She's not merely a player, but the cornerstone of their franchise. Losing her would have severely hampered their rebuilding efforts. Nevertheless, some fans believe that leaving Fag Benley unprotected was a misstep, as she is a dependable contributor who brings both experience and grit to the team. By passing on high-profile players like Caitlyn Clark, they signaled their commitment to constructing a team based on depth, teamwork, and strategic foresight. This method may not create immediate headlines, but it lays the groundwork for long-term success. Naturally, not everyone concurs with this strategy. Critics argue that the Valkyries forfeited an opportunity to secure a generational talent. Caitlyn Clark's ability to attract fans and elevate her teammates makes her a rare asset in the WNBA. Opting out of drafting her could be viewed as a risky move, especially for a new team aiming to establish itself in a competitive environment. However, there's a valid argument supporting the Valkyries' choice. Building a successful franchise requires time and meticulous planning. While star players like Caitlyn Clark can transform a team, they also introduce complexities both on and off the court. For the Valkyries, the expansion draft was about more than just acquiring talent. It was about establishing a foundation for a team capable of competing at the highest levels. As the Valkyries gear up for their inaugural season, all eyes will be on their roster decisions. Will their strategic approach yield positive results, or will they rue the decision to pass on players like Caitlyn Clark? The outcome may not be immediate, but one thing is clear: this decision will be closely examined. Understanding the Valkyries' choice to forgo Caitlyn Clark requires looking at the broader context. How will this impact the future of the Valkyries and Caitlyn Clark's role with the Indiana Fever? Launching a new franchise carries the inherent pressure to make a significant impact quickly. Acquiring a player like Caitlyn Clark would undoubtedly generate headlines and draw fans to the arena. However, a franchise's success isn't solely determined by hype. It's about winning games and cultivating a sustainable culture. The Valkyries appear to have prioritized balance over star power. A key aspect of this decision revolves around Caitlyn Clark's compatibility with a new system. Clark is renowned for her dynamic, high-energy playing style. She's a high-usage player who excels in systems designed to highlight her individual talents. However, for a nascent team like the Valkyries, selecting a player of Clark's magnitude could result in a lopsided roster. The team might feel compelled to build entirely around her, potentially compromising depth and versatility. Historically, teams that secure elite talent early on often set themselves up for sustained success. Clark's ability to draw double teams, stretch defenses, and control the game's tempo makes her a generational talent. By passing on her, the Valkyries are essentially betting on their ability to discover comparable talent in the future, a gamble that may or may not pay off.
She'll be the biggest female star ever because she can pull up from the parking lot.
She is a killer. She is stone cold.
Caitlyn, man, she's a phenomenon. She's the best female collegiate player ever.
Caitlyn Clark is capable of magical things.
Caitlyn Clark is continuously setting new benchmarks as a trailblazer in women's basketball by revealing a surprising element in her Fever contract. Celebrated for her exceptional talent and leadership on the court, she's now making significant impacts off the court as well. The basketball community is abuzz after an unexpected detail of her Fever contract surfaced, and honestly, it's a game changer. Not only for Caitlyn, but also for the future of how athletes manage their careers.
Knowing that before Caitlyn was Rihanna and Diana and Sue and Rebecca and all of those, Dawn Staley as a player, where does it go? Can it continue to climb, and will it climb on the back of now Paige Bueckers?
For anyone questioning the Caitlyn Clark effect, we now have people wanting to watch golf because of her. We saw the kind of offer that Ice Cube made to Caitlyn to play in the Big Three. That is $5 million to play 3 months.
Caitlyn Clark continues to set new standards in women's basketball by unveiling a groundbreaking detail in her Fever contract. Renowned for her unparalleled talent and leadership on the court, she's now making significant strides off the court as well. The basketball community is abuzz after revealing an unexpected aspect of her Fever contract, and it's a game changer, not just for Caitlyn, but for the future of athletes' career management. The Iowa standout has always been ahead of her time, proving she's not just playing basketball, she's elevating the sport itself. What exactly did she disclose, and why is everyone talking about it? Caitlyn Clark secured a $28 million deal with the Indiana Fever, setting a standard for how athletes can leverage their influence. According to insiders and Caitlyn herself, her contract includes enhanced travel accommodations, personalized support staff, and resources dedicated to her holistic development as a player and leader. At just 22, she's the only professional women's basketball player on the Forbes 30 Under 30 list. Unlike standard team travel arrangements, Caitlyn's contract allows her to optimize her schedule and performance, ensuring she can shine without unnecessary distractions. In her first year, she will earn $76,535, along with access to nutritionists, trainers, and mental performance coaches. This reflects the Fever's commitment to player well-being and long-term career sustainability. Reactions have been overwhelmingly positive, with teammates showing genuine support. One player even joked, "If Caitlyn's getting all these perks, we'd better start winning more games to keep up." From management's perspective, the Fever's general manager described the contract as a bold step toward redefining excellence in women's basketball. Investing in Caitlyn's development is also investing in the future of the league. Fans have praised the move on social media, celebrating Caitlyn's role in pushing boundaries and inspiring others. Young athletes everywhere are watching Caitlyn's journey and learning that it's okay to demand more. She's not just breaking records, but also breaking barriers, embodying empowerment and leadership. Caitlyn handles the spotlight with grace, crediting her teammates and the Fever for believing in her vision. This collective triumph highlights the power of teamwork and innovation. Looking ahead, Caitlyn Clark is more than an athlete. She's a trailblazer and a symbol of what's possible when talent meets determination. Her contract with the Fever is a statement of intent, declaring that the future of women's basketball is bright and boundless. By securing provisions that emphasize personal development and well-being, Caitlyn is demonstrating that excellence on the court should be matched off the court. The Fever's decision to support her vision marks a cultural shift in women's sports, historically undervalued and under-resourced. Caitlyn's contract signals to other franchises and sponsors that investing in female athletes is both ethical and profitable. This move is reminiscent of the legendary Bird Magic rivalry, sparking excitement and essential competition. The domino effect is already taking shape, with other WNBA players exploring similar contract clauses. Younger players are dreaming bigger, inspired by Caitlyn's bold move. She advocates not just for her growth, but for the growth of women's basketball as a whole, creating a path for the next generation to thrive. Caitlyn Clark has concluded one of the most remarkable years in basketball, backing up her words with actions. She plans to mentor young players and engage in community outreach, creating a transformative ripple effect. Despite critics questioning team equality, Caitlyn's approach benefits everyone by enhancing team performance and league recognition. Caitlyn's journey is far from over, and this contract is just one chapter in her incredible story. Whether you're a fan or inspired by her drive, there's no denying she's making a lasting impact. Here's to Caitlyn Clark, a star on the court, a leader off it, and a true pioneer in every sense of the word.
Apparently, there's a WNBA player named A'ja Wilson. Apparently, she's pretty good. Caitlyn Clark brings it down, goes twice between her legs, step back jack. A'ja Wilson doesn't like that. A'ja Wilson isn't smart enough to understand that everybody's going to get fat because of Caitlyn Clark. Everybody won't get fat if they keep bringing up the ridiculous, idiotic, and tired old notion of racism.
A'ja Wilson has ignited a blazing storm of drama, challenging Caitlyn Clark in a manner that's capturing everyone's attention. Is this the fiercest rivalry in WNBA history? A'ja Wilson, a three-time WNBA MVP, has been unstoppable on the court with astonishing stats and consecutive outstanding seasons. She's undeniably one of the league's greatest athletes. However, A'ja isn't just letting her performance speak for itself. She's making her presence felt loudly and clearly off the court as well.
A'ja Wilson, who whined and moaned and continues to whine and moan that Caitlyn Clark is only popular because she's white, couldn't be more.
In a recent intense interview, A'ja Wilson made some significant statements that are stirring up the basketball community. She didn't just challenge Caitlyn Clark. She alluded to a more profound issue that's been simmering beneath the surface for some time. Caitlyn Clark, the emerging star and generational talent, has dominated both college basketball and the WNBA spotlight. With her electrifying performances and bold attitude, she's become the center of attention. However, A'ja isn't on board with this. Why is Caitlyn Clark receiving all the attention? My achievements last season alone surpass her entire career. And if that wasn't enough, A'ja went a step further by claiming that the primary reason Caitlyn garners so much hype is because she's white.
Hey, look, we love Steph Curry as a black man because of how he plays. We'll give two craps about Steph Curry or Caitlyn Clark being white, black, green, or purple. When in doubt, yell racism, and when in doubt, look stupid doing it. And the latest is this moron named A'ja Wilson.
A'ja Wilson has ignited a full-scale drama, publicly challenging Caitlyn Clark in a way that's sparking widespread conversations. Could this be the most intense feud in WNBA history? A'ja Wilson, a three-time WNBA MVP, has been unstoppable on the court with impressive statistics and back-to-back stellar seasons. She's unquestionably one of the league's premier athletes, However, A'ja isn't just letting her on-court prowess speak for itself. She's making her stance known loudly and clearly off the court as well. A'ja didn't stop with Caitlyn Clark. She also brought Paige Buchers into the conversation, with Paige set to join the WNBA soon. A'ja is already asserting that she's not getting the spotlight she deserves because she is a black woman. Her frustration seems to stem from feeling overlooked, questioning why her MVP seasons, record-breaking performances, and championships aren't making her the face of the league. But here's where things get wild. A'ja suggested that Caitlyn Clark should face a lifetime ban for what she described as a lack of respect for the game and its pioneers. What does that even mean? The internet exploded. Fans are taking sides, with some agreeing that race plays a role in media narratives, while others believe A'ja is going too far. Here's what she had to say. I think it's a huge thing. A lot of people may say it's not about black or white, but to me, it is. It really is, because you can be top-notch at what you are as a black woman, but yet that's something that people don't want to see. They don't see it as marketable, so it doesn't matter how hard I work. It doesn't matter what we do as black women. We're still going to get swept underneath the rug. That's why it boils my blood when people say it's not about race, because it really is. Players like Breanna Stewart and Diana Taurasi have reportedly weighed in. A'ja Wilson is the queen of the WNBA, but Caitlyn Clark is box office. The debate over A'ja Wilson and Caitlyn Clark isn't just about stats or accolades, it's about what defines greatness in the WNBA and who deserves the spotlight. Is this frustration rooted in jealousy and an inability to accept that Caitlyn Clark has changed the game in ways A'ja never has? A'ja Wilson plays for the Las Vegas Aces, a team so stacked with talent that they could probably win games with half the roster. Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, and Jackie Young are not just supporting players, they're stars in their own right. With teammates like these, A'ja has the luxury of playing in a system that allows her to excel without carrying the entire load. In fact, if we're being honest, Kelsey Plum deserves more credit than she gets. Her playmaking, scoring, and ability to take over games make life significantly easier for A'ja. If Kelsey wasn't there to pick up the slack, would A'ja still be an MVP? That's debatable. It's worth noting that MVP stands for Most Valuable Player, not Best Player on a stacked team. Without Kelsey, A'ja's numbers and impact would likely shrink. So when A'ja claims she's the league's most valuable player, one has to wonder, valuable to whom? The Aces could probably still dominate without her, but the same cannot be said for Caitlyn Clark and the Indiana Fever. While A'ja thrives in the league, Caitlyn Clark entered the WNBA as the savior of a struggling franchise. The Indiana Fever had been floundering for years, a team barely making headlines and far from playoff contention. Then Caitlyn arrived. In just 8 months, she turned a forgettable team into a playoff contender. Her presence forced her teammates to elevate their game, and her leadership has been nothing short of transformative. Unlike A'ja, Caitlyn doesn't have the luxury of multiple all-stars sharing the load. She's the sole centerpiece, carrying the team on her back while navigating the immense pressure of being a rookie in the spotlight. A'ja might want to criticize Caitlyn's recognition, but she hasn't faced the kind of uphill battle that Caitlyn has in her first season. One of A'ja's loudest complaints is about the awards Caitlyn has received. While A'ja is proud of her MVP title, it's clear that Caitlyn's recognition as WNBA Player of the Year and Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year has struck a nerve. These accolades highlight Caitlyn's unparalleled contributions to the game, both on and off the court. Here's the difference. A'ja's MVP is tied to team success. Caitlyn's awards recognize her individual brilliance and the broader impact she's had on the league. The MVP award is often debated, But Player of the Year and Athlete of the Year make one thing clear. Caitlyn's influence transcends basketball. She's not just a great player, she's a cultural phenomenon.
I'm here with my dog, my teammate. I'm super hyped to have my girl here. Two-time WNBA All-Star, Kelsey Mitchell. What's good with it?
What's up, gang?
7 seasons, 4 head coaches, and a playoff drought that felt unending. Kelsey Mitchell's tenure with the Indiana Fever has been a roller coaster of obstacles and breakthroughs. But the 2024 season completely transformed her story.
Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Oh, me, I'm a Midwestern girl, born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio, 513 kid. It's kind of tough to come out of where I come from because it's so small, and so you get what you get. It's kind of a dense city. It's not as like a Miami or like Atlanta, so you kind of get what you get. And so I grew up hooping through my family. I come from a family dynamic of just sports. My dad was he went to school to play football. That's how he met my mom at Eastern Kentucky.
Okay.
And that's how I was brought into this world.
In an unfiltered conversation with teammate Erica Wheeler that's sending shockwaves through the basketball community, Mitchell bears it all about the wild ride of her career and the catalyst behind the Fever's revitalization. She dives into everything, from the heartbreak of last season's struggles to the euphoria of becoming a WNBA All-Star, and even her candid opinions on Caitlyn Clark and the fans. Kelsey leaves nothing unsaid, ready to see how one player's arrival reshaped not only a team's destiny, but also completely transformed Mitchell's view of the game. Let's dive in.
Basketball was just always a safe haven. I kind of took it from there, just, utilized what I knew about it. And that's how I knew what my lifestyle was, just through hoop. I had friends through hoop. I just, you kind of gain a lifestyle, and the rest was kind of history.
Yeah,
I look back at it now. I went from Cincinnati and I went up the street to Columbus, to Ohio State University, and I was always a homebody, but I knew I wanted to get out of Cincinnati. That was clear. And once I became a Buckeye, I kind of chose being a Buckeye.
Picture this: you're Kelsey Mitchell, the 2nd overall pick in the 2018 WNBA draft. You're set to ignite the league and drive your team to greatness. Yet instead of basking in championship parades, you endure a relentless string of losses. For years, that was the harsh reality for Kelsey with the Indiana Fever.
You and E both been here for a number of years, right?
Yeah.
Y'all done been through the tough years. Well, you really got to grind it out. Tough season.
What, you was 7 years here?
All 7.
All 7. You ain't never been to another team.
Girl.
7 years and how many years?
So I was here from 2015 to.
She was my back.
Hey, wait. Wait. Don't count my age right now on TV. Don't do that. Don't do me like that.
When Mitchell first arrived in Indiana, she was bursting with promise and potential. The Fever were excited about their new star, though they had no idea of the obstacles that awaited them. Season after season, wins proved to be elusive. The Fever not only missed the playoffs once or twice, they went 7 straight seasons without a playoff appearance. In one particularly rough season, they managed a mere 5 victories. Can you imagine the weight of that disappointment? Yet, despite the team's struggles, Mitchell's individual talent shone brightly. She wasn't just good, she was consistently exceptional. From 2018 to 2023, Mitchell averaged more than 16 points per game, a testament not to a brief hot streak, but to nearly half a decade of elite scoring.
The first 3 years, you can kind of sum it up. You ain't got to give me a long story. I was there with you for 2 of them, so kind of give me what that rough patch was like, and then we can kind of skip through and get to where you at right now.
Yet, individual achievements can only conceal team frustration for so long. Mitchell, always the fierce competitor, began to question her future in Indiana. The points kept stacking up, and the accolades kept rolling in. Yet something crucial was missing. In her own words, the points were just points, and the accolades merely accolades. It simply wasn't sufficient. What she longed for was that winning team spirit, not just personal triumph. You can truly feel the hunger for collective success in every word she speaks.
Yeah, I think Indy, those from year 1 through 3.5. Well, let me just say this. I went through my 7 years in Indy. I've had 4 head coaches. So that within itself is kind of like, no one really knows what an experience of like the black stick at the bottom. Trust me, I've been there. Trust me. So I was, that's really how it started,
Now, let's dive into the topic of stability, or rather, the striking lack of it. Picture trying to construct a championship contender when the architect is swapped out every season. That's exactly the scenario Mitchell and the Fever encountered. 4 head coaches in 7 years, each with a distinct voice, system, and vision. How can anyone find their footing when the ground is constantly in flux?
When y'all left, it was still a rebuild stage. So different coaches got hired. And I think that at that point, Delby was trying to figure out whether I was keep swimming or if I would sink individually. And I'll be honest, I didn't know what would happen in my career. I didn't know how it would turn out because the points were the points, the accolades were the accolades, but it wasn't enough.
That team winning. Team, not individual, team.
And anybody that wanted to compete and be a winner,
it's about team.
It's about team.
But here's where Kelsey Mitchell's true character emerges. While many might have asked for a trade or let their effort falter, Mitchell did not waver. Her work ethic became the stuff of legend within the organization. She was often the first to arrive at the gym and the last to leave. Day in and day out, loss after loss, she kept pushing, striving, and believing. With every defeat, her determination only grew stronger. She made a career-defining choice: to be part of the solution. It's one thing to stick around when everything's going well, but Mitchell's unwavering loyalty through the toughest years is truly rare.
It's unfortunate, and I just think the hand I was dealt was like, I take what's, I trusted in the organization in different ways, from like the management and the people that they brought in, and so I just kind of like trusted the wave, and so I look back on trusting that wave now, and now I'm here. I don't know what.
You really started over 4 times though.
I did.
Like every time you get a new coach, you kind of really start over because you got to build that relationship with that coach. Although the coach know who you are, they know what the players they have in the locker room. It's a different ball game for sure.
I was in survival mode when I put my back against the wall, and so what everybody see now is just I've always been a fighter. I've always kind of had to compete and find a different way to,
And in 2023, that steadfast dedication finally paid off. After years of individual excellence overshadowed by team struggles, Kelsey Mitchell received the validation she so richly deserved. For the first time in her career, she was selected as an All-Star, a moment of triumph that recognized not only her remarkable skills on the court, but also her relentless perseverance through adversity. Mitchell's journey is a powerful testament to the rewards of resilience and loyalty, proving that even amidst constant challenges, staying true to your mission can lead to ultimate success.
Actually, a workout video with Brianna Turner and Caitlyn Clark. Now, this is the first video where we've seen 2 players working out together from this team, so I want to live react to it with you guys. So obviously Coach KP is there. I feel like he never leaves the gym. You have Caitlyn coming across the screen for a 3. It looks like with all of these, they're working on a screen and roll with Brianna.
Just when it seemed like the WNBA drama had settled down, chaos returned with a vengeance. And who's at the center of it all? You guessed it, Angel Reese. Her former teammate, Brianna Turner, was recently seen working alongside none other than Caitlyn Clark in Indiana. And let's just say, Angel isn't exactly cheering from the sidelines. The internet went wild, and honestly, this storyline has it all. Petty feuds, unresolved grudges, and enough jealousy to fuel a reality TV show for seasons. Brianna Turner has officially separated herself from the drama and ego surrounding Angel Reese, and she's doing it with finesse by teaming up with Caitlyn Clark. Let's be honest, It's like leaving a chaotic house party and stepping into a peaceful luxury spa. The difference in energy is clear. Suddenly, Turner is thriving. Who would have thought? Choosing professionalism and skill over the noise and distractions seems to be the winning move.
So, lads, it's looking like the Indiana Fever have signed a perfect player to have beside Caitlyn Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Dwana Bonner, Natasha Howard, Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hall. Who else? Sydney Colson still on this team, Damaris Dantas, and whoever they draft in the second round.
Now, picture Angel Reese likely scrolling through Instagram, jaw tight with frustration, as she watches her former teammate cozy up with the very player she's been throwing passive-aggressive jabs at since their college days. If jealousy were a sport, Reese would be in the running for gold. She always saw herself as the main character, the face of the league. Yet here's Turner, choosing Caitlyn Clark over the Bayou Barbie swagger.
And of course you have Caitlyn. Like, she had such a phenomenal rookie season, so many great accolades. And I think the jumping from season 1 to season 2 players can also make a really big jump. So I'm excited to see her growth from year 1 and year 2. And she hasn't reached her ceiling yet either, so I'm really excited to watch her growth as well.
Let's be real. Reese probably thought Brianna would stay loyal, supporting her drama, lingering in her shadow, and feeding into her narrative. But instead, Turner hopped on the first train to Indiana, where the vibe is positive, the chemistry is strong, and the focus is purely on basketball, not side eyes and social media beefs. It's almost like some people actually care about winning, not just trending. Watching Caitlyn and Brianna hit the gym together wasn't just heartwarming, it was telling. It highlighted who's focused on the game and who's focused on the drama. Their workout was smooth, intense, and team-oriented. You could feel the chemistry. Meanwhile, Angel's recent performances have felt more like a monologue no one asked for, filled with dramatic pauses, exaggerated reactions, and very little substance.
Angel Reese, 3-on-3. Let's get it! Hey, we back like we never left. Angel Reese in the post. Gonna work number 5. Shake and bake. Earthquake. Bang! Hey, Angel, you had all off season to get in the lab, fix your lamps, but what did you do? More podcasting. Layup.
And let's not overlook the blow to Angel Reese's public image. The player who once proclaimed herself the face of women's basketball is now left on the sidelines, watching as her teammates join forces with the true game changer. Caitlyn Clark is out there building connections, forging alliances, and elevating her team. And now, Turner's right there with her. Meanwhile, Reese is stuck with the same tired antics and a shrinking circle of support. You just know Reese saw that footage of Turner and Clark and immediately went into damage control mode, probably typing a cryptic tweet like, "Loyalty hits different," or preparing a carefully curated photo dump with dramatic lighting to stir up attention. But let's be real, we all saw what went down, and so did the rest of the league.
How are you feeling about being in Indiana and joining the team?
I'm really excited. I followed a lot of these players throughout their college careers and professional careers, so it's kind of like full circle moment to be on the same team with a lot of these players again.
Tell me what it was like that, what went into your decision to come here and join what's being built here at the Fever?
I think that the front office and the staff just really had a vision in place, and I felt that I could really complement their vision.
Reese's ego might be hurt, but Brianna Turner's career just got a fresh boost, and all it took was stepping away from the drama and linking up with someone focused on elevating the game. That move says a lot. Angel may still have her supporters, but she's learning the hard way that clout fades, while teamwork endures.
Mashed potatoes! Brr! Thought we were gonna leave the hop skippity doo 3000 in 2024. Jumping off one foot, landing on that same foot. Then we're stat padding. Still, I thought we were past this, Angel. Bang! Rebounder in WNBA history. Look at this. Elite rebound. Look at that vertical. Look at the outlet pass. No, Angel. No. Why, Angel? Why? Not the kick out 3. Butter pecan. Bang! If you throw it out of bounds, you hate puppies. What? She a playmaker. She's a point queen. Point queen. She making plays for the other team. Bang! Caitlyn Clark's not the only one that can make cool passes. I can do it. Me too.
Maybe, just maybe, Angel Reese should try something revolutionary for once. It's called humility. Shocking, right? Imagine prioritizing your team instead of turning every game into a personal highlight reel. Picture Reese sharing the spotlight rather than hoarding it like her legacy depends on it, and playing the game as a teammate, not a solo act with a chip on her shoulder. But of course, that would require a complete rebrand from her current role as the queen of ego and unnecessary theatrics. So, while Reese continues rehearsing her next emotional press conference or planning her next media stunt, let's raise a glass to Brianna Turner and Caitlyn Clark, two players who truly understand the value of teamwork.
Talk about you on the court. Like, what sort of attributes do you think you're going to bring, and where will you, add to the Fever from last year to this year?
Yeah, I think I'm really just like a calming presence. I feel like I never get too high or get too low. People are like, why don't you smile more? Why don't you get excited? I'm like, I'm just chilling, I'm vibing. Like, I feel like I'm really an observer, but I am really competitive as well. I like to run the floor, like to play defense, like to win, and I think the Fever was a place to be if I wanted to win.
Just when we thought the WNBA offseason had given us all the drama it could muster, Brianna Turner swooped in with the ultimate plot twist. Remember when, not too long ago, Turner was throwing those subtle jabs at Caitlyn Clark online? Oh, we all remember. The tension was palpable. But now, fast forward to today, and you'd swear they've been best friends for life. The way they're smiling in training photos, seamlessly vibing together on the court, it's as if they've been a dynamic duo from the start. It's giving frenemies to finals energy, and the internet? Well, they're absolutely eating it up. Meanwhile, poor Angel Reese is left standing awkwardly in the background, like the third wheel nobody invited to the party. It's a sad sight, really. Her presence barely felt while everyone else moves forward, building alliances, making plays, and embracing the future. Talk about being left behind. The tables have turned, and it's playing out in front of us, drama and all.